everybody, Corvus here. Um, like I said, I wanted to give, I guess, a bit of my opinion on the controversy that happened. I guess you'd say the end of April, end of March, beginning of April, in regards to the release of the single by Rammstein, Deutschland. Um, I will definitely link all the things below that I mentioned, um, and I will be translating some of the song to sort of explain why, in my opinion, it wasn't offensive. And I don't know if it really matters, but my family is Jewish. I personally am an atheist, but I was raised around the Jewish culture and stuff, and I wouldn't change that. I'm very thankful that I was raised in the environment in which I was, because I had a couple of different cultures sort of mixed in together. And I speak German, so I tend to, I don't know, I understand their songs a little bit better than maybe an average American that doesn't, speak German would. And it is, especially because this song touches on a subject that I have always found very interesting, which is that people in Germany tend to feel as though that they aren't able to have national pride due to the events of World War II. Like, it's uncommon to see somebody, say, waving or hanging a German flag in Germany. We've only seen in recent years at the FIFA World Cup matches, you'll see German supporters. They will have German flags, but they also tend to be a part of the millennial generation. But the members of Rammstein were born in the 60s, and they were also raised in East Germany. Before the Berlin Wall fell, the eastern part of Germany was under Soviet control. So they sort of understand oppression, and I almost felt like when I heard that there was controversy over it, I really wasn't shocked, even though I wasn't necessarily sure of why there was controversy. I assumed, but there's always controversy surrounding their videos and their music. I know one of their albums, Liebe ist für alle da, was actually, they banned it from being sold in normal record shops, I believe it was. I might have that wrong. It might be that I think they banned it from being sold in just a normal record shop. You had to get it online or something like that. And that was many years ago. But what I had wanted to start out with is that, number one, I thought the video was phenomenal. I'm not going to be adding clips in because, honestly, when it comes to anything with that, I'm not the best at editing with that yet, given the software that I do have. And also, I don't want to infringe on any copyrights. So, throughout the video, we see about six eras throughout Germany's history, going back to before they even really called it Germany. It was Germania Magna, which basically just means big Germany, sort of, in Latin. But we see the history starting with the Roman Catholic Church's influence over Germania at that time. Germania was a Roman Catholic, oriented country, as were many in Europe. We also see an executive office at what looks to be the KGB or the Stasi, which was post-World War II, sort of what Germany was doing during the Cold War. We see scenes that definitely look like the Crusades, and we see World War II, we see the Holocaust, and that was where the controversy came from. It was tweeted by, I have to find exactly what his position is. It's Emmanuel Nashon, I think I'm pronouncing that properly. He was the spokesman for the Israeli Foreign Ministry, and he had tweeted a picture from the video. It was a video trailer um, for the video because it is almost 10 minutes long. And he put a still from that, and he had tweeted, "This Rammstein clip using the Holocaust for advertisement purposes is shameful and uncalled for. We join the many voices calling for its immediate removal." I will leave a link to that tweet below. And also there was a very short BBC news article on it, which is, I think, where I had originally seen the tweet. Yes, it's a controversial topic. But if given what the lyrics translate to throughout the entirety of the song, which I'm not going to translate the whole thing right here, but it's supposed to be looking at your history and accepting it for what it is. That these are horrible things. The Holocaust was one of the most horrible, horrible things that has ever happened to humankind. So much so that I have taken specialized classes to study just the Holocaust. It was 16 weeks, 3 hours a week, on basically just the Holocaust. There was some on Cambodian genocide and Armenian genocide, but I did study it. And I have, basically, if part of my family hadn't moved from where they lived in Russia when they did, I might not be here due to what happened during World War II. So I am definitely not somebody that would defend blatant anti-Semitism like that. And the thing is that if you were a fan of Rammstein, number one, they don't really need to use something that edgy to pull in people to watch it, because those of you that are Rammstein fans, the second you hear they're coming out with a new album, your first thought is, they haven't come out with an album in years. Oh my god, I'm so excited. That's what you're going to think of. You're not going to care what the advertisement for the video is. You're going to watch it. I didn't bother watching any trailer. I immediately just searched the name and I found it. And the video is absolutely beautiful. They also have a character, Germania, which it's not something the band came up with on their own, of course. It's something that the German peoples have had in their culture. It's a woman with the name Germania, usually sort of, I think there's some pictures of like her holding like almost like a torch, you know, leading Germany to greatness. And that has been twisted through the years to become propaganda, where sort of Germania gets kind of evil, and then there are times where Germania is a positive figure. I really loved, and this is just my opinion, I really love that they chose, well, one, she's absolutely stunning, this woman. The black actress and model, Ruby Comey, I think I'm pronouncing that last name correctly. It could be Comey, but I'm not sure. But I think it's Comey. Because if you notice throughout the whole video, her skin is a very rich, dark color. And she's only wearing gold and red, predominantly. A lot of red lipstick or black lipstick. And I thought that that was sort of to show, since she is Germania, that's what she's credited as, that the symbolism of her dark skin with the gold and red is the three colors of the German flag. I have seen other people mention that in other things, like where I was looking on the internet, that other people had thought this, so I don't know. What do you think? Let me know. Let's see. It is a very sad song. There's a part when, I believe it's the chorus that I have here translated. So the beginning of the chorus says, "Germany, my heart in flames, want to love you, want to damn you, Germany, your breath is cold, so young and yet so old." Which I think that's very sad, And, especially that they do say, want to love you, want to damn you. The first verse is, you have cried a lot in the mind apart, in the heart united. We have been together for a very long time. Your breath is cold, the heart in flames. So to me, it's sort of showing how it's difficult for somebody that's German to feel a love for their country, and not just because that's what they've been taught, but because they acknowledge their history. And that's why I believe that Holocaust scene is in there. The 4 of the band members are playing concentration camp victims or laborers, because they don't actually specify if it's an extermination camp or a labor camp, but chances were you were dying anyway. I also noticed that during the scene in the concentration camp that Germania is seen, she's smoking a cigarette, wearing all black, and she has an eye patch on. And I thought, and this is, I don't know, this could be a stretch, maybe I'm overthinking it, but I thought of it as she's an onlooker. She doesn't commit any, she's not kicking the stones out from any of them. She's not seen doing any sort of violent act. And it's almost like it represents how a lot of Germans, people that lived in Germany, either knew something was going on, but because of what was going on, they turned a blind eye, or that sort of how part of the country was kept in the dark, that almost even Germania herself was not aware of how bad it was, because all she would have to do was turn her head and not be able to see. I also thought that, and I also thought it was interesting that one part of it, when Till, he's the lead singer, he's in chains and he's dressed in the striped pajamas. I used that from the movie The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. And he's bloody and he's in chains, and he looks over his shoulder and sings directly into the camera, Deutschland, Deutschland über allen, which means Germany, Germany above all. And that actually is, I guess you would have to either have taken history specifically on Germany, or be German yourself or something, or have this as your interest, but that actually used to be in their national anthem, was Deutschland, Deutschland über allen. They took it out after the Second World War. So he's showing irony. Like, I think that's pretty obvious that he's showing irony as somebody that's handcuffed. Oh yeah, Germany above all, as they're sending me to my death. So I thought that this person's tweet, either it's like, the thing is that the video came out on the 28th of March, and this tweet is also from the 28th of March, but it's from 6:28 a.m., but that I believe is East Coast time, so I guess it was the afternoon. I don't know what time the Rammstein video was released the same day, but it seems like he saw the video, at least that far through, and I don't see how you would think that that was a ploy to get people to watch. If you were a fan, and it's like, we know that they have been very public about being very left-wing, that they all grew up in Soviet East Germany. They were, I think Till was 28 years old when the Berlin Wall fell. So his formative years, and all of their formative years, were spent in Soviet East Germany. So they know what oppression is like. They're not the type to make fun of something like that. They're very left-wing. And I just think that it was very brave, and it was very beautifully depicted, but I thought it was very brave of them to say, like, yeah, this is what the people of my country, my forefathers, have done. And even though it makes me want to hate, I still have some love. And especially as somebody that's American, but I don't really understand national pride very well. I don't, because my opinion has always been like, well, I'm not proud to be an American, because pride should be something that's like reserved for an accomplishment. But I think in somebody that's been born and raised in Germany, I can't imagine even thinking like, wow, my country's awesome. Like, there are certain things about, say, like America that I am glad I have, of course, that I wouldn't have in other countries. But you can't even, it's like, it's still to this day, and none of the people that had anything to do with World War II are around anymore, and still that feeling exists. And I think it's upsetting that they feel this way. But I think that they deal with it beautifully through their music. Um, so yeah, I know that their album just came out. I had said before it came out on the 7th. I was wrong. It came out on the 17th. And I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. As you can tell, I look like crap. I had to take my mom to a couple of doctor's appointments today, and since she broke her ankle, that's not been the easiest thing to do. And also, I got this awesome t-shirt, excuse me, that is Middle Earth Fest, and it's of all different characters from Lord of the Rings listed as sort of like bands, like at like Ozfest or something, which I got from T Fury, which is actually courtesy of my friend Fareed. Thank you, Fareed, for getting me a nerdy Lord of the Rings themed t-shirt. So, do you think that having something like that in a video, is it too soon still? Is it something that shouldn't be touched on at all, even in artistic spheres? Let me know what you think about that. If you also weren't bothered, if you understood what they were trying to say. And like I said, I'll have links below to the tweet, to the BBC article, everything. And of course my Discord tag, so if you want, hit me up on Discord, and you could always leave some comments of anything else you'd like to see in the future. But for now, I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out. Love you all.